Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I became a nutritionist. So it's a little bit of a long story. So I think really there's two parts that I've come to realize are the reason why. So firstly, I was diagnosed with a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome. And basically, I had been having some menstrual issues, getting my period like every other week, and just some weird things happening, and enough symptoms that I went to the doctor. And actually, this took 2 years to get the diagnosis. The symptoms went away, and then the next year, the same thing happened again. Went back to the doctor, and with the blood test that they did, that's what it came out as this diagnosis. And I had one option presented to me, which was to go on birth control, which was something I didn't want to do at the time. I didn't really have any reason to do that. And I felt like I didn't understand how my body was working, like what's going wrong and how is that going to help me. So in the end, what I did was I went to the library, I researched my diagnosis, and I found out what was going on in my body. And it was really a metabolic disorder, which meant that it had to do with blood sugar and what I was eating. So I kind of accidentally discovered that dietary changes would help me. I had just been doing a lot of reading, and one day noticed I felt a lot better. My skin looked a lot clearer, and I thought back on what I had eaten the day before, and I hadn't eaten any grains, and that was something that I was reading about. So I decided to just go for it, and I made a dietary change. I stopped eating all grains, all sugar, and all starches, and I lost 20 pounds. My periods became regular for the first time in my life, and I had ended up going on a medication that I was able to come off of. So for me, it was a transformational experience that I was, that what I was eating completely changed my my symptoms. I didn't have my symptoms anymore, and I felt so much better. So that's when I decided that I wanted to go to nutrition school, because I wanted to just learn more about how food impacts different symptoms and conditions. And I think the other part of it for me is that wasn't the first time that I'd had a chronic symptom that I didn't really get the relief or the solution for from the medical doctors that I was seeing. I had back pain growing up. I just had so many different instances where I was in and out of doctor's offices, and I had people tell me, there's nothing wrong with you. All your labs are normal. There isn't any reason that we see for all, your fatigue or your pain. So for me, I think one of the reasons that I do this now especially is because there's so many people who have similar stories to me, where they have chronic symptoms, they have pain, they have fatigue, they have things that they're going to the doctor for, and they're not getting better. And so I think that, regardless of whether it's the same diagnosis that I had, what I'm really doing this for is to support people who can't find answers and who need somebody to help them dig deep, figure out what's really happening in the body and what they can do to change it. So I think that's what's missing today in medical care, is just taking the time to really dig through somebody's history, taking the time to understand what their lifestyle is like now and what can be done on a daily basis to impact the physiology, what's going on in the body, and how that can change somebody's symptoms and improve their life. So that's why I do what I do.